Sir, a strong economy needs a very strong infrastructure backbone. And, we've seen an infrastructure boom in the country. Connectivity has improved, access has improved. How do you see all of this shaping up?
I think we have progressed a lot. I think from the Golden Quadrant project, which was set up by the ex-Prime Minister Vajpayee.
Yeah.
And since then, the connectivity in the country have improved significantly,
Right.
connecting Kashmir to Kanyakumari and the entire outer ring roads for making infrastructure movements, the vehicle movements faster, freight movements become faster. Industrial activities are all getting integrated across the country.
Right.
So there is a significant progress they have made with respect to building road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, airport infrastructures, and as well as on port infrastructures. Because the economy is growing at about 7.5%,
Right.
industrial activities are picking up, and India is not only imports, also exports on industrial activities. And third, of course, when there's so much of investment is being planned by the public sector,
Right.
basically the government-led infrastructure development in the country, especially in the last 6-7 years, have seen a significant allocation towards this segment of the activities, which is leading to progress on various allied sectors. I think the moment infrastructure happens, the allied sectors suddenly become the most sought after sectors, whether it is consumption of steel, whether it is job being provided for welding machines and so on and so forth. There are many allied activities which are linked to the infrastructure development. And I'm sure more will come. I think more will come as we move forward.
Right. So your answer has given me the lead into two of my questions. One being on the Gati Shakti initiative, which is about multimodal connectivity in the country. How do you think this is going to impact economic development, and how does it align with the India growth story?
So I think as the industrial activities pick up, the movements of goods from one state to other states have to become very, very seamless. I think India has got the huge railway network. Potential of railway network has never been fully utilized for building the freight corridors from one state to the other states, from one place to other place, have not been built. I think the Gati Shakti is, I think, what Prime Minister is talking about.
Right.
Is actually ensuring that every transport mechanism that is available in the country, whether it is road or waterways,
Yes.
or even the airways, so all the and railways. So all the four actually provides a great opportunity to actually build the whole ecosystem in such a manner the moment of goods are moved from one place to other place at a greater speed. I think what is most important in the business environment, you have to have less time taken for moving goods from one to other place, so that the manufacturing activities become larger. Your time to the market will become faster. Therefore, your working capital improvement will happen. I think it will have a multifaceted impact that it will have. So it will have a greater impact on the economy. As the newer companies who have established overseas and are looking at India as a China plus one, so I think more and more manufacturing will get shifted to India. I think you need to have better the transport mechanism, not just only for moving from goods from one place to other place within India, even for overseas. You can also bring in more investment. More the investment coming in, the more consumption of material that is being produced within India, more employment, more money in the hands of people, per capita income will increase, employment will get better, and also able to export overseas, so that more forex will come.
Absolutely.
So they will have a multifaceted impact. Definitely, the China plus one is making India to be the destination for overseas. Therefore, what is being done in the last 6-7 years, I think would ultimately lead to make people actually get more convinced that India is the place to be there. I think that's where we are there today.
Sir, in your previous answer, you also spoke about the allied benefits of infrastructure. Tell us how this piece will help in propelling national development, and what are these allied sectors, if you could throw some light on that.
So I think one of the biggest sectors, I think India has got a huge potential, is in the engineering space.
Right.
Engineering, fabrication. Related to the engineering space, I think India has got a huge potential. So when you go and look and corner every country, there are certain like Tamil Nadu. Is known for automobile related activities, engineering activities. If you go to Pune and Maharashtra, again for automobiles, they have a huge capability. They all make the spare parts, which actually becomes the parts in the manufacturing, OEM companies.
Right.
Whether the parts that is being manufactured across the country, different parts of the country, is quite large. And the same thing happens in the case of if you want to set up a power plant, there are various allied sectors gets implemented. I think India has got largest steel producers in the country.
Right.
And the second largest, third largest that we can probably say. and production of steel.
Right.
So whether you want to depend on steel production to the overseas to import exports, or you want to depend on actual domestic consumption. And the huge the natural resource that India has got has also have got the ability to actually produce the steel and aluminium at the lowest possible price. So it has to get the benefit some industries. I think one of the biggest things that has happened in the last few years is these small scale enterprises in India has got. The power of small scale enterprises runs in about 3 lakh numbers.
Oh.
Close to about 3,25,000 small scale enterprises India has got. And those small scale enterprises may have average of about say 40, 50, 100 crores kind of turnover. But that the entire small scale enterprises are becoming viable first and foremost. They employ people. They also have an aspiration to grow and participate in the overall story as an ecosystem get developed. I think that's the benefit of this investment that is being made. And plus employment. I think it's something which we cannot rule out. But ultimately, all these activities lead to employment, which is the most important one measurement on which the success of the country is being measured. So that's, I think, is the biggest stuff that happens.
We spoke of connectivity. Is FASTag an innovation that has made transportation seamless? Would you call it like a good innovation of our times?
So I'll not call it as innovations. I'll call it as the best copying of the best practices available overseas market.
Okay.
If you travel overseas, the FASTag is something which is widely existing. It's prevailing over most of the countries, prevalent in most of the countries. We have simply copied that. I think what has brought to the nation in terms of FASTag, you build nice highways and people of course travel on the road. Before FASTag, you can take in cash. Some may pay, some may not pay, some may skip through actually these things. But today there is the stuff FASTag coming in, compulsory in every vehicles. Collection becomes much better. As the collection efficiency gets better, your working capital gets better, project viability gets better. And tomorrow you will have a scenario that the government of India will be sitting on a national wealth, which will be running in about crores of rupees, must be in the range of about 10 lakh crores worth of assets. They must be sitting on in the country, just be the owner of the roads. So today, as I speak, the per annum collection in the FASTag is goes to about 75,000 crores. And the number used to be somewhere around 35,000-40,000 crores when the FASTag is not available.
Right.
The more roads are being built, more vehicle being bought, and the FASTag, this thing is, collection is improving. As this number gets better and better, it will become self-fulfilling
Fulfilling
the
system.
assets, system as the more the self-fulfilling it becomes, the more the investment that you can make. I think that's why I think we'll get into a nice virtuous cycle.
Right. Sir, energy security is very crucial for any country's advancement. How do you assess India's strategic planning as far as energy security is concerned?
Energy security, of course, is important, especially after seeing the energy security getting its momentum, especially post Ukraine and Russia war.
Right.
So European countries went through their own troubled time, and India is the only country had full energy availability because we are very strong on thermal, which is the traditional coal-based power plant that we used to have. In addition to that, I think India's investments into various renewable energy sectors, I think we have gained a significant progress, especially on solar and wind power, as well as hydro energy. The very fact that we have chosen this place today, which is the factory of Well Morgan Heavy Engineering Industries, they are associated thickly with the wind energy in making certain equipments, which is most needed for the wind energy. itself reflects how the India is actually is making investments into small enterprises on one side.
Right.
Other the kind of importance that is being given for the renewable energy to making it India more self-sufficient. The next few years, I would probably assume we would, in all probability, as the vision of Prime Minister always says, that India should be the largest producer of solar power in the country, as well as on the wind power in the country. Therefore, 20 to 25% of the energy consumption in India would come actually from the renewable energy as we move forward.
Let's talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat. How do you think we can leverage this idea of Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, especially at a time when global supply chains are resetting? You spoke of, the China Plus One strategy. How can we leverage that well?
I think clearly the last few years, at least there is a change in the thought process. There's a change in the mindset. We have to produce enough goods for India's consumptions.
Right.
We would also become a global supplier of goods and materials so that the global can actually look at sourcing it from India. So I think if you look at it holistically, and what we have progressed so far on the China Plus One is actually ensure that most of the global countries look at India as one of the outsourcing locations for all their requirement, whether it is in the automobile sectors, whether it is the automobile spare part sectors, or in the engineering goods sectors, or even in the chemical sectors. Various sectors will be the largest beneficiary of China Plus One. Today, if you look at, we have reduced the import and we have started producing here in India. The next few years, we'll start exporting to overseas. Therefore, it will become win-win from every angle if you look at it from a global economic activities point of view. Therefore, if you look at eventually the India in relation to the rest of the countries, we will actually go up in the ranking in every parameter on the country rating. So that's where I think I see is the progress is helping.
Fingers crossed, I guess.
Yeah.
Sir, PLI to power local manufacturing, true or false?
It definitely is. It's true, given the fact that every industrialist have to be given some kind of assurance that government is going to be behind your success, so that they are going to stand behind you rather. Therefore, some incentive has to be given, so that boosts actually the real power that every industrialist has got in India to unleash the potential of the Indian the industrial hubs, industrial houses, the small scale enterprises. The PLI scheme actually has done the wonders. I think since the time the performance linked incentive plan has been given, then companies who are setting up any new plant doesn't need to worry about I'm going to make profit, don't make profit. What I need to do is produce goods actually and sell. So PLI has done two things. One, I've ensured that confidence level of industrialists go up. More and more people are actually looking at expansion from private capex point of view. Third is profitability gets reasonably assured. And fourth is the ROI on the investment is also somewhat getting assured through the PLI schemes. So it's proof of putting will always be in the hands of industrialists as long as they do a genuine job. Therefore, the PLI has done actually greater shifting the power to the industrialist and put their thought process for the expansion of the country through the private capex program.
Very important aspect of a flourishing manufacturing sector would also be the investment climate in the country, right? And also what sort of FDI flows are we getting? What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on the investment climate in general in India, and what are the factors that could contribute to increased FDI flows in the country?
So I think I call it first as a friendly. So the investment climate in India has become conducive.
Right.
It has become friendly. It's also become very, very smooth. Right from taking approval from the central government as well as the state government. Second, what has happened in the last few years, looking at the progress that has happened in the country, every state have become very aggressive in terms of getting industrial activities pick up in their respective sectors. Today, every state compete with each other to make their states better, not just only as a state to live, even from the industrial activities point of view. This has actually enabled huge amount of flows of money coming to the FDI the last few years. And China Plus One, which I mentioned about, so definitely the companies like Apple, Samsung, or Tesla, they are all looking at making India as one of the hub for manufacturing.
Right.
They are looking at manufacturing in India for producing in India and giving it in India so that import could come down. At the same time, they can also have firms like Maruti and Hyundai who have a large plant in Chennai and as well as the rest of the India. So they can actually export some of this small car from India. Even Maruti has recently announced they will actually sell electric vehicles that is being produced in India to the overseas market, then they will start selling in India. So all these things actually is bringing in as part of the potential that they see in India for increasing their investment. That's why I think FDI will increase quite substantially. I would assume FDI will become one of the large component of the country as we move forward because the ROI and the return on investment that could offer to them, I think will be quite huge compared to the global market.
So then, sir, how far from India becoming a hub for global trade and exports?
I think as it is from a past, if you look at the trend, India has got the largest service export market, and we also have the largest textile exports market. Where the manufacturing on the automobile side, also we have seen reasonably good exports. I think this will only see gain momentum. I also see that India having launched missile through ISRO the last year, and India also now becoming a hub actually for exporting rockets produced in India for the global market. Already about 300 missiles orders have been placed with either DRDO or ISRO. Itself is the first sign of recognition that India not only become a hub actually for manufacturing, India also can become potentially the big partner for global market, even the defense equipment, exports and manufacturing. I think variety of things are happening. I think it's not far off, I would assume, given the fact that the momentum that you are gaining and the fast pace at which you are moving will become too soon as well.
Right. How can India maintain its competitive edge? One of the things that comes up is spurring technical skills or improving technical skills over here. What are the things that India can do to ensure our competitive edge is maintained?
First and foremost, political stability. Second is the policy frameworks are more conducive. And third, of course, the talent, the skill set. The engineering talent that available in India is far higher number compared to any other country we spoke about it. And fourth, of course, the quick learning that India always has got. As it always says, China took 25 years actually to create telecom revolutions. India, of course, started later than China, and we took 10 years actually to create the telecom revolution in the country. I think each of the areas which are the best for the country and India's adaptability for those needs are quite faster. Therefore, I would assume the competitive landscape, when you look at it, India will always score much better than any of the countries, both in Asia as well as global market.
Well, then here's looking at a very, very bright future ahead for our country then.
Of course, yes. I think look forward to the 2047.
Yes.
India become the largest economy in the world.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.